It's the year 2043. After a long and devastating global trade war fractured economies and shifted the international landscape, pirates and corsairs once again roam the seas. With petrol and the chemicals needed to build rechargeable batteries in short supply, people relied on sails to propel boats and makeshift cars built from the remnants of old machines. Among this chaos, 3 American teenagers, Alex, Jamie, and Diego, explore the seas in search of adventure and loot. After their boat was destroyed in the coast of Burma, they were recovering from a brutal battle in a Somali pirate camp run by leader Ayaan Isir. They were joined by Lee, a young Chinese pirate, and Naveed, a young mechanic and tech from Bangladesh. The Somali pirate camp was quiet at dawn. Canvas sails flapped gently overhead, strung between rusted poles and salvaged masts. The teens lay scattered across hammocks and mats, bruised, bandaged, and silent. Jamie remained unconscious, his chest rising slowly under the careful watch of Commander Idris. Aisha sat nearby, sharpening a blade with rhythmic precision, her eyes flicking to Jamie every few minutes. Lee stood at the edge of the camp, watching the horizon. Naveed approached, carrying 2 cups of boiled tea. "I told my father I'd stay," Naveed said, "but after Kwaikata fell, after the pirate nation came in with their promises, I couldn't." Lee nodded. "I stopped there looking for the Americans. That's when he asked to come. I promised his father I'd keep him safe and train him." Diego, limping slightly, joined them. "You didn't help us rescue Alex." Lee turned, his expression unreadable. "I know." "I was wrong." Diego crossed his arms. "So what changed?" Lee looked north. "I saw something. Sailing past the old research coast, I saw the walking whale your father described." Diego's eyes widened. "You're serious?" "I took it as a sign," Lee said, "from the universe. That I was meant to be part of this." Isha stepped in, wiping her hands. "There were labs up there. Genetic labs. After the collapse, they were abandoned. Some of the experiments, they're still out there. Maybe that's what you saw." Before anyone could respond, a familiar voice called out, "Still breathing, I see." It was Arjun, grinning, arms wide, coat billowing. "I've got a ship. And I've got work. If you're done bleeding, I could use a crew." They packed quickly. Jamie, still unconscious, was left in the care of Idris, with Aisha watching over him like a hawk. At sea, the wind was sharp and clean. The teens stood on deck, watching the coast fade. Then, shouts. Ropes flew. Smoke bombs burst. Mercenaries from India swarmed the deck, masked and silent. Within minutes, Alex, Diego, Lee, Naveed, and Arjun were bound and taken below. The mercenary leader, tall, gold-ringed fingers, eyes like polished stone, tossed a bag of coins onto the deck. Attached was a letter. He turned to Shinta, Arjun's Japanese partner. "Deliver this." Then they vanished into the mist. Shinta raced back to the Somali camp, letter in hand. Captain Ayaan read it aloud. "Greater than, we have your crew. They are unharmed. The Maharajas require a task fulfilled, one that none of our own can complete. Your people have the skills. If they succeed, they will be paid and released. If not, they will not be harmed, but they will not be returned." Ayaan folded the letter slowly. Shinta's fists clenched. "We should go after them." Ayaan shook her head. "No, the Maharajas don't bluff. If they say the teens will be safe, they will be. For now, we wait." She looked toward the tent where Jamie lay. "And we prepare." Elsewhere, the teens stood in a line, wrists bound, backs straight. The warehouse was dimly lit, its walls lined with crates marked in faded Hindi and Mandarin. At the far end, seated on a raised platform beneath a velvet canopy, was the Maharaja. He wore a tailored indigo robe, gold embroidery glinting in the low light. Rings adorned every finger. His gaze was sharp, calculating. "You're not mercenaries," he said, voice smooth but cold. "And that's precisely why you're here." He gestured, and a servant stepped forward with a velvet-covered tray. On it sat a small, ornate object, an ancient Chinese relic, carved jade with gold inlay. Do you recognize this? Silence. No? The Maharaja leaned forward. It was stolen from one of my ships. By you, Arjun scoffed. Never seen it before. The Maharaja didn't blink. He raised a finger. A guard stepped forward and drove a fist into Arjun's gut. Arjun doubled over, coughing. I spent millions retrieving it from the black market, and yet, it's intact. That tells me something. You didn't know what it was, yet you didn't break it. That makes you useful. He clapped once. Another man entered, an older Indian technician in a lab coat, carrying a tray of rusted circuit boards, wires, and battery cells. Tell me what these are. The teens leaned in. Naveed squinted, then spoke. That's a motherboard from an old smartphone. That's a wireless antenna. And those are lithium-ion cells, rechargeable. The Maharaja smiled. Unbind him. Naveed was led to a workbench, handed tools and a few more parts. In minutes, a dusty screen flickered to life. The boot logo of a long-dead tech company glowed faintly. The Maharaja turned to his advisor, who stood stiffly behind him. You doubted them. This was the final test. He rose and led the group to a larger chamber. Inside, suspended by chains and scaffolding, was a prototype communications satellite, sleek, unfinished, humming faintly. This, he said, is our future. A device that could restore global mobile communication. We've built the shell, but the core tech we need is in Africa. A contact there has access to a facility, one of the last untouched by the collapse. Naveed stared at the satellite, eyes wide. It's beautiful. Diego frowned. I still don't get it. Why all this fuss over a machine? The Maharaja turned slowly. Let me ask you something. What was the single event that marked the point of no return for the world as you knew it, and who caused it? Alex hesitated. The American dictator. He started the trade war. Lee added, the Chinese president. He joined it. The Maharaja shook his head. Wrong. The collapse began when global communication fell, when satellites were destroyed, when ultramarine cables were severed, and the man behind it was the Industrialist. He paused, letting the name settle. He helped the dictator rise, promised a tech utopia. Then he vanished, but not before he detonated every satellite in orbit and coordinated attacks that severed the world's ability to speak, trade, and connect. The teens stood silent. Your mission, the Maharaja said, is to help us finish this satellite. To reach that facility in Africa, to undo what the Industrialist did. He turned to his guards. Feed them. Let them rest. Tomorrow, they begin.